It has to be said that I love my wife and I love my daughter very much. So I went with them to go see Barbie. We went to our drive-in theater because one of the cool things about where we live is we have one, and so we get there, we get a good spot, and we prepare for this movie. I had heard a lot of reviews and what people said about it, and they're right. Um, Chris Gore from Film Threat, Jeremy Johns, Nerdrotic, uh, the critical drinker. I could go on. They all talked about this movie, and they're right. Um, the first, I don't know, 45-ish minutes when Barbie is in Barbie Land before they come to the real world was okay, but I didn't laugh. There is only one single scene in this entire movie that I laughed at, and it was a Ken scene when he put a pair of sunglasses on and immediately put a second pair of sunglasses on top of the first pair. That's the only scene in the entire movie that I laughed. This movie's dreadful. Yeah, it's bright and colorful, and you think you're going to be coming in for a good time. When we finished the movie, my wife apologized to me because she didn't think it was going to be that bad. It was bad. You might be like, oh, it's not made for you because you're a dude. It's like, yeah, but when the women in my life don't like the movie, that also says something. I got to point out this Greta Gerwig or whatever her name is seriously has some third wave feminism nonsense that she poured into this movie, and it is horrible. You know, third wave feminism is the retarded younger sister to first wave and second wave feminism. Those two actually accomplish things for women to help them out. Third wave is going to make man haters, and it's going to make men into women haters. And the people who push it are complete idiots. So, this Greta lady, I'm just going to call her Thunder Thighs because I can't remember her last name. Um, she poured all this into the movie. There is so much man hating, it's insane. And it's like, look, I expected a girl power film because it's Barbie, and that's understandable. This went beyond where every man was evil or incompetent, and the feminism drivel where they talked in the film about how hard women have it and how much they have to work to keep up with the men is complete bullocks. Bullshit. Nonsense. Um, Women have more rights in this world than men do. You might argue about different things, and there might be points where men have certain rights that women don't, but women also have other rights that men don't. And the problem here, especially with what came at the ending, is instead of trying to create equality between the sexes, it became we need to have one side be the winner. And that's where the movie falls completely apart. Um, yeah, Ken did some stuff wrong, but he was trying to make things better for the Kens. And with how the Kens were treated in Barbie Land, it makes sense that there'd be an uprising. And it's ridiculous. And this, it was well acted, but the best actor in this film, clearly, was Ryan Gosling. He knocked it out of the park as Ken. Probably the only overall good character in the movie. And his reasoning for stuff was understandable, but then they made him a crying mess when he got defeated at the end. This movie was just dreadful. It's not something I would suggest for young girls to watch. I don't know if this movie is going to have massive legs. I know it's got an explosive opening. Everybody wanted to go see it, but when word of mouth goes around about how much man hate is in this movie, I'm pretty sure quite a large section of the female audience is probably not going to be going because guess what? Not all women are third wave feminists. The important thing to note is first wave was the women's suffrage movement, which allowed women to vote and own property. And the second wave was during the 60s and 70s, which sometimes is called the sexual revolution, where women actually started to be able to dress how they wanted, they could do more. And this third wave is basically men are evil and trash, and we need to put them down. And that's why it doesn't work. It needs to be pointed out. I'm all for first and second wave feminism and giving women every right that men have. But if you're going to sit here and attack men left and right and say it's so awful, it's like I would like to see women in construction then. I would like to see women in sewage treatment. I would like to see women do all the nasty, horrible jobs that men have to do. Why don't we increase the amount of women who have to go to war? They haven't been in a draft until, well, I guess now they have to be, but they weren't before. And you want to talk about equality, men are more likely to die at work, at war, all across the board. And we just have to be told that we're evil because third wave feminists think that they have it so awful. And it's not true. And that same tinge is throughout this entire film. I don't suggest it. You can watch some clips with Ken, but other than that, this movie is outright trash. And it's important to note that there was a transgender Barbie in the film. I said it was a Ken in disguise. That was in the movie. Whatever. But, why wasn't there a Barbie to Ken? Why was there no Asian Barbie? There was an Asian Ken. And if you're really paying attention, these are some things that you notice. Now, maybe it was just casting things, but I don't know. Music was okay. It was trying to be silly. I'm pretty sure that was Lizzo singing the Pink song at the beginning. And I didn't laugh. Not even Will Ferrell made me laugh in this movie. This was... It could have been a cult classic. It could have been something incredible. But the director and Greta or whatever her name is, she wanted to make it political. I don't think it's going to have the same kind of legs if it was just, it could have really just been a goofy girl power movie. They could have even still kept it with Ken taking over Barbie Land. But if they played it more for laughs and being silly than trying to be serious, this movie probably would have been better. But it is a dumpster fire because they are serious. And don't watch it. That's my opinion. Don't watch it. Like I said, my wife apologized to me. She didn't think it was going to be that bad. There is too much man hate in this. And yeah, if you're a man, you're probably not going to want to watch it. And if you're a woman who actually loves men, or particularly if you're in a relationship with a good man, you're probably not going to like this movie that much either, because the whole idea that all men are trash kind of thing that permeates this film, because all the Kens are bad. The only scene that I outright enjoyed, even though I didn't laugh, was the Ken battle scene, because that was fun, but it wasn't good enough to save a film that was a steaming pile of doo-doo. So, no, I don't suggest going and seeing Barbie. It's not made for the majority of people in this country.